My name is Donny Adams. I work for Nautilus.net. I've been here for about 5 years, and I'm a tech here. So today I'm going to be talking about the DL380G4, and some common issues that we've encountered as far as shipping, because we pack them up really well, but when they we send stuff all over the United States, so we pack them up to the best of our ability, and usually it's fine, but on a lot of occasions customers will call us back after they open it up and they receive it, and they'll say, hey, the server's not working. And I'm going to be talking about a few of the issues that could cause a server similar to this one to not work. So first things first, so when the customer receives a server like this, I would suggest to go ahead, because 90% of the time it should fire up, but it's at 10% that's going to be the issue, and that's usually when they'll call us and ask, what's the deal, my server isn't working. So here's an example of a PCI riser right here that's not properly seated, and we've seen, you see this when it becomes ajar and shaken up during shipping, because no matter how well we pack it, it's still, if it's mishandled during the shipping process, it's still going to be possibly ajar and possibly loose. So here we go. I'm going to try to fire it up right here, and of course nothing. And as you can see, you have lights in here, so it's misleading. So the customer, it seems as though the server is getting the necessary requirements, the power, everything, but the problem is this thing. So first things first, if after you plugged it in and attempted to get it to fire up and it doesn't work, what I would suggest is to touch the chassis. Well, the ideal situation would be to wear a ESD wrist strap, but I know that 90% of the customers probably don't have an ESD wrist strap, so a good alternative would be to just touch the chassis, and then you're okay as far as that. So I'm going to unplug it and then unscrew these two screws here. These are the PCI riser case screws, and it should just pull straight up like this. Because a lot of times during shipping, the jarring effect could possibly damage the contact points here. So it's always best to just kind of look at them to make sure that there's no damage on them and to make sure that they're okay. So in this case, they look fine. So what I'm going to do is just line it up at this point here and line it up to this point here, like that, and also line it up at this point, and then give it a pretty firm push to where it snaps down. And then what we're going to do is just go ahead and screw these in hand tight on both of them, and then pop these things back down. And let's see, now we'll plug it in, and as you can see, we have the same lights working, but the primary difference is this. This shows that the AC power is connected to the PCI riser. So now I'm going to try to fire it up once again, and voila. So also, though, there's other issues that happen during shipping with other things becoming shaken up and being disconnected or whatever. For instance, the power supplies. These power supplies, they can also become ajar. So the proper way to reseat them after equaling your charge is to pull them out, check the electrodes or check the connections again, and just go ahead and give it a good push. Make sure that it's snapped in place, and that's okay. And these come out, they don't come out as frequently as the PCI, but they do come out. Another area that we typically see is the ram. The ram could either, I don't know if it's, I don't know what the conditions are that make them come out, but a lot of times they'll look like they're inserted into the dim slot, but actually they're just touching the top. So the absolute best thing to do is to, pull them out again, check the connections to make sure that there's no damage, and then make sure that it's lined up within this dim slot right there, and put pressure on both sides of the dim. Snap it in at the same time. Again, for this one, same thing. Examine the electrodes or the connections, slide them in, snap them in at one time. Same with this one. Okay. And don't force them, because as you can see, they're not equal. You have a shorter distance on this side and a longer distance on this side. So it's very easy to get them mixed up and reversed. So if you get them reversed, you'll come across a situation like this where it doesn't push in. And you don't want to force it because it'll actually break it. So the short side goes with the short side, and so on and so forth. So, and boom, snapped in. Boom, snapped in. Also, we also found that there's other these VRMs have came loose in the past when shipping these as well, and that's fairly straightforward. It's similar to a DIM because it has the same type of connectors here, or plastic pieces here. And again, you look at it to see if there's any damage that happened, and then go ahead and equal pressure, snap them in, and then you close up the sides. Same goes with this one. So, that's pretty much a lot of the problems that you're going to come across, if at all. So, and that's how we fix them here, and that's one of the good things about it. It'll save you a call to us, and it'll be wonderful if you just do what I say and do how we do. Thank you very much.